If you're a man over 60 and you've been waking up drained, weaker, or feeling like you've somehow slipped into a stranger's body, this message is for you. Because the true reason your strength is vanishing isn't just age. It's deprivation, not of food, but of the exact nutrients your body desperately craves in the final stretch of the day. Each night, millions of men unknowingly starve their heart, hormones, and masculinity of the single most vital fuel needed to repair, rebuild, and restore blood flow right where it matters. I'm Dr. Mark. For over 30 years, I've worked with men in their 60s, 70s, even their 80s, men who felt broken, disconnected, and burnt out. And I've watched them rise again, not with pills or surgery, but by making one simple decision before bed. Just a spoonful of the right food at the right time can do more than anything else you do all day. Here's what no one's telling. Your body is wired to heal during sleep, but only if it gets what it needs. Most men skip protein, miss circulation boosters, and hit the pillow running on empty, then wonder why energy, desire, and confidence are slipping away. In this video, I'll show you 7 science-packed bedtime foods that work quietly while you rest. One of them, just a spoon before bed, can help reignite stronger erections, steady stamina, and deeper sleep. And soon, I'll reveal the one food I call nature's Viagra in a spoon. It's smooth, familiar, and it could completely change how you feel when you wake up tomorrow. Before we get started, if you're serious about reclaiming strength, sleep, and blood flow after 60, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you never miss another tip crafted for your vitality. And if this message hits home, drop A1 in the comments. If not, type 0 so I know how to serve you better. All right, now that you know bedtime is your body's secret healing hour, let's explore the first easy habit that changes everything. It begins with one of the most overlooked yet powerful foods already sitting in your kitchen. 2 soft-boiled eggs, taken at just the right time, can spark a real transformation. *1 soft-boiled egg, the nitric oxide igniter. I still remember the first time I recommended it to a patient named Walter. He was 68, a retired math teacher, sharp, structured, the kind of guy who never missed a beat. But behind that composed face, I sensed something was off. He sat across from me and said, "Doc, I've done everything right. The vitamins, the walking, the clean meals, but I still wake up feeling empty. Like my mornings don't belong to me anymore." Then came the real pause. "And my erections, they're nothing like before." I didn't grab a prescription pad. I offered him something much simpler yet far more effective. I said, "Walter, tonight, eat 2 soft-boiled eggs." That's... He looked at me sideways. "Eggs?" I nodded. "Soft-boiled. 1 hour before bed. Just trust me." See, most people think eggs are only for breakfast. But for men over 60, a soft-boiled egg at night can be a spark plug for the entire system. Why? Because these eggs are loaded with leucine, an amino acid that helps boost nitric oxide. And nitric oxide? That's what opens up your blood vessels. Not just the ones for your heart, but those ones too. Low nitric oxide means sluggish blood flow, weaker erections, and morning fatigue. But when you fuel your body right, even in your 60s or 70s, circulation can come back to life. Eggs also bring a combo punch. Vitamin D for testosterone, B12 for nerve health and energy. And unlike a greasy dinner, soft-boiled or poached eggs digest easily, letting your body recover without blood sugar spikes or sluggishness. 10 days later, Walter was back. Something had shifted. He walked in taller, his skin brighter. With a grin, he said, "Doc, I don't know what you did to me, but my wife says thanks." We laughed, but we both knew this wasn't magic. It was just smart timing. A spoonful of the right thing at the right time, because your body doesn't need extreme changes. It just needs intentional ones. And sometimes, something as humble as 2 soft-boiled eggs before bed can flip the switch your body's been waiting on for years. But if you think eggs are powerful, wait until you hear about the next food. It's creamy, smooth, and 1 spoonful. Before bed can quietly ease your arteries open while you sleep. This next one is my secret weapon for men who need help relaxing, restoring, and reclaiming their confidence. Let's talk about it. *2. Almond butter, the artery relaxation spoon. Not long ago, a man named Carl came to see me. He was 74. Widower, quiet but well put together, the kind of man who carries decades of dignity in every step. But when we sat down, I heard something in his voice I didn't expect. A hesitation. He leaned forward and said, "Doc, I've done the work. I walk daily, eat clean, even meditate. But when it comes to intimacy, it's fading, and I don't know how to fix it." That's when I handed him one of the simplest tools in my kit. 1 tablespoon of almond butter before bed. No pills. No hormones. No late-night gym sessions. Just a spoon and a little intention. At first, Carl blinked. "A spoon of nut butter is going to help with my performance?" I smiled. "Yes, and not just performance, your sleep, circulation, and overnight recovery too. Here's the truth most men never hear. Your arteries are lined with smooth muscle that must relax to allow proper blood flow. Almond butter? It's packed with magnesium, nature's relaxant, which calms those muscles like a warm soak after a long day. It also contains arginine, an amino acid your body converts into nitric oxide, the key molecule that opens up blood vessels and restores strong, rich circulation, even to places that haven't been performing like they used to. But that's not all. Almond butter contains healthy fats that naturally support testosterone production. No needles. No side effects. And perhaps most overlooked, almond butter helps stabilize blood sugar. Fewer crashes during the night means better hormonal balance, deeper sleep, and a body that finally gets to rebuild. That's when testosterone resets and circulation repairs. Carl did exactly what I suggested. 1 spoonful of plain almond butter, sometimes with whole grain toast, sometimes straight from the spoon 30 to 60 minutes before sleep. 2 weeks later, he walked into my office, and before I could say a word, he smiled. "Doc, I feel lighter. More like me. And let's just say, my new lady friend noticed too." What I saw in Carl is what I've seen in so many men. The moment biology stops working against you and starts working with you, that 1 spoon wasn't just food, it was a message. A message to his body that healing, strength, and desire are still possible. That he's still very much alive. And if almond butter can do all that while you sleep, the next food goes even further. It's sweet, tart, and probably reminds you of childhood. But inside that deep red drink is one of the most powerful tools I've ever used to restore male vitality. Let me show you the drink that's helped thousands of men sleep deeper, wake stronger, and reconnect with a part of themselves they thought was gone forever. 3. Tart cherry juice, the sleep and circulation superfood. There's something nostalgic about tart cherry juice that takes me straight back to childhood summers. I can still picture my grandmother's fridge, those little deep red bottles, tucked in the back, rich in color, almost medicinal. Back then, it was just a sweet treat. But now, I see it as one of the most powerful nighttime tools for any man over 60 who wants to reclaim what time has quietly been taking away. I remember Leonard, 69, a retired bus driver. He had done all the right things. Clean diet, daily walks, no alcohol, sharp mind. But one afternoon he sat across from me and said, "Doc, I'm still crazy about my wife. I want to be close. But when the moment comes, it's like my body just leaves the room." That hit me hard. Because Leonard didn't have a desire problem, he had a support problem. And it wasn't just about blood flow. It was about what was happening under the surface. Nerves, hormones, blood vessels, and above all, sleep. That's where tart cherry juice comes in. Unsweetened tart cherry juice is one of nature's richest sources of melatonin, the hormone that governs deep, healing sleep. But it doesn't stop there. It's also loaded with anthocyanins, powerful antioxidants that fight inflammation and boost nitric oxide. Which means that while you sleep, your blood vessels are softening, relaxing, restoring their ability to carry blood where it matters. Your brain, your heart, and yes, your manhood. As your sleep deepens, your hormones rebalance. Testosterone begins its nightly rhythm. Growth hormone kicks in. Recovery begins. And men like Leonard, they start to come alive again. I told him to drink just half a glass about 4 to 6 ounces 30 minutes before bed. Within a few nights, he was sleeping. Faster and deeper. By the second week, he told me, "Doc, I'm waking up with more energy, more presence. And let's just say the mornings are a bit more exciting again." But what moved me most wasn't the smile on his face. It was the quiet confidence in his voice. He didn't rely on pills. He didn't force anything. He just gave his body the tools it needed to do what it was built to do. And here's the best part. When sleep and circulation start working together, everything else follows. But there's one more piece most men overlook in Oregon that silently drains energy, disrupts sleep, and steals intimacy. And the answer? It might be hiding in something you used to scoop out and throw away. Let's talk about the small, forgotten seed that's helping thousands of men reclaim their nights and their confidence. *4, pumpkin seeds, the prostate protector. Years ago, I used to toss pumpkin seeds straight into the trash without a second thought. Every fall, we'd carve jack-o'-lanterns with the kids, scoop out the insides, and chuck the seeds away. I had no idea we were throwing out one of the most powerful healing foods for men over 60. That changed the day I met Don, a 66-year-old retired engineer. Logical, precise, the kind of man who wanted clear, evidence-based answers. When he sat down in my office, he didn't bring up testosterone, sleep, or intimacy. Not at first. He just said, "Doc, I'm exhausted. Every night I'm up 2, sometimes 3 times to pee. By morning, I feel like I've run a marathon. I'm foggy, frustrated, and frankly, done." I looked at his chart classic signs. Mildly enlarged prostate, creeping blood pressure, poor circulation, and low energy. I asked him, "Are you giving your body the minerals it needs to recover at night?" He raised an eyebrow. "Like multivitamins?" I smiled. "Nope. Like pumpkin seeds." These tiny, crunchy seeds are loaded with exactly what the aging male body needs, especially at night. Magnesium to relax blood vessels, lower nighttime blood pressure, and ease muscle cramps. Zinc to support testosterone can help shrink an N. Enlarged prostate. Tryptophan, an amino acid that boosts serotonin and melatonin, promoting deep, uninterrupted sleep. But what really makes pumpkin seeds a secret weapon? Phytosterol's plant compounds shown to reduce prostate swelling and improve urine flow. That means fewer nighttime bathroom trips, stronger sleep, and better circulation throughout the pelvic region. For Don, this changed everything. I told him to start with just 1 to 2 tablespoons of raw, unsalted pumpkin seeds before bed. Some nights he ate them plain. Other nights, mixed with banana slices or a scoop of Greek yogurt. Within 2 weeks, his bathroom trips were cut in half. A month later, he looked at me and said, "Doc, I haven't slept this well in years. I'm thinking sharper, walking stronger, and let's just say my wife noticed a few unexpected upgrades." That's the quiet power of feeding your body the minerals it's been craving, something so small, yet so essential. When your prostate calms down, your sleep deepens, your energy returns, your entire system begins to realign. But what if we could take it one step further? What if there was a creamy, familiar food already sitting in your fridge one that supports blood flow and delivers two powerful proteins to help rebuild your strength while you sleep? Let me introduce you to the bedtime powerhouse most men overlook, but won't ever ignore again. Asterisk 5. Greek yogurt, dual protein for nighttime repair. Robert was the kind of man you noticed the second he walked in. Broad shoulders, firm handshake, a presence that once rallied football teams under stadium lights. He'd spent decades coaching high school athletes, showing boys how to dig deep and stand tall. But when he came into my office at 70, there was something different behind his eyes. He still had the strength in his body, but not in his spirit. He sat down and said, "Doc, I love my life. I love my wife. But lately, I feel like I'm just coasting. My sleep's broken. My mornings are slow. My body doesn't bounce back anymore." He paused, then quietly added, "And honestly, the spark's gone." I asked him one simple thing. "What do you eat before bed?" He blinked. "Eat before bed? I don't. Isn't that bad?" That's a myth I hear way too often, and it's one of the most harmful for men over 60. Because when chosen and timed right, a small meal before bed can completely change how your body heals, repairs, and restores itself overnight. That's when I introduced Robert to Greek yogurt. Cool, creamy, and criminally underrated, Greek yogurt is one of the best bedtime foods a man can eat. Why? Because it delivers a dual protein boost. First, whey protein fast absorbing to kickstart muscle repair early in the night. Then, casein protein slow digesting, feeding your muscles for up to 8 hours straight. This steady release of amino acids is essential for men over 60, when natural muscle breakdown speeds up overnight. But Greek yogurt's benefits go beyond muscle. It's rich in calcium, which helps relax blood vessels and support healthy nighttime blood pressure. It's packed with B vitamins, which regulate energy, nerve function, and testosterone metabolism. And when you combine it with chia seeds, berries, or a drizzle of raw honey, it becomes a full-spectrum nighttime tonic. One that supports hormones, blood flow, and the deep sleep your body craves. Robert took it seriously. Each night, about an hour before bed, he'd prep a small bowl Greek yogurt, a spoon of chia seeds, a pinch of cinnamon, and a few banana slices. 3 weeks later, he returned with a smile I hadn't seen before. "Doc," he said, "I wake up ready now. I don't just float through my day, I lead it." That's what happens when your body finally gets the fuel it's been silently begging for at exactly the right time. Because this isn't just about food. It's about timing. It's about intention. It's about honoring the man you still are inside. And if Greek yogurt is your nighttime coach, the next food, that might just be your silent strength trainer. It's old school, time-tested, and making a comeback for men who want to rebuild muscle, stamina, and confidence, especially in the morning. Let's talk about it. 6. Cottage cheese. The silent muscle builder. There's something quietly old school about cottage cheese. It's not trendy, not flashy. It's the kind of food your dad probably had tucked in the fridge, maybe with a spoon already stuck in it. But don't be fooled by its simplicity. For men over 60, cottage cheese can be one of the most powerful tools in your nighttime recovery arsenal. And I've seen it work time and time again. Take Frank, for example. He was 72, a retired mechanic with rough hands, a firm grip hands that had built a life. But one day, he sat across from me and said, "Doc, I feel like my body clocked out and forgot to tell me. My balance is off." My grip's weaker. And at night, it's like I'm not even in my own skin anymore. Frank didn't want a miracle. No gimmicks. He just wanted to feel strong again, real, earn strength. And I told him, Frank, your body wants to rebuild, but it needs the right materials. And one of the best blueprints was already sitting in his fridge. Asterisk cottage cheese is rich in casein protein, a slow-digesting protein that releases amino acids gradually through the night. That's vital because after 60, your muscles break down faster, and without overnight protein, they can't rebuild properly. It's also packed with leucine, an amino acid that helps flip on your muscle-building switch and supports nitric oxide production for better blood flow. Yes, even down there. Then there's the calcium, which helps your blood vessels relax and keeps your heart rhythm steady while you sleep. Add a sprinkle of cinnamon or a few berries, and now you've got a bonus of antioxidants and blood sugar support to end your day strong. So Frank gave it a try. Just half a cup of cottage cheese 30 to 60 minutes before bed. No drama, no fuss. Just one simple habit. 3 weeks later, he walked back into my office with a spark in his eye. Doc, he said, I'm sleeping through the night. My hands feel stronger. I feel like my body's finally got my back again. And my wife? Let's just say she's been giving me that look I haven't seen in years. Asterisk, it's amazing how something so humble, so quiet, can unlock such a big shift in a man's life. That's the beauty of real nutrition. It doesn't shout. It just works quietly, deeply, right where you need it most. Asterisk, but what if you could take all of these healing ingredients, your protein, your nitric oxide boosters, your hormone supporters, and combine them into one smooth, powerful nighttime shake? Up next, I'll show you the exact formula I've given to hundreds of men to help restore their strength while they sleep. Asterisk 7. The Rebuilding Shake, my personal prescription. Some of the most meaningful moments in my medical career haven't come during exams or while reviewing lab results. They've happened quietly, man to man, when a patient leans in, lowers his voice, and confesses something raw and real. Double quotes. ... I'm doing everything I can, but my body just won't bounce back. That's exactly what George told me. He was 75, post-surgery, and in his own words, feeling like half the man I used to be. He'd lost weight, lost strength, and even worse, he'd lost his sense of self. It wasn't just the physical fatigue. It was the emotional distance he felt from his own body, like he was living in a shell that no longer listened. I could see it in how he sat, the slump in his shoulders, the hesitation in his voice. And I knew he didn't need a list of supplements. He needed a lifeline. So I gave him my personal prescription. Something simple, something powerful. A bedtime shake designed not just to nourish, but to rebuild from the inside out. Asterisk the formula. Base, high quality, unsweetened whey protein. It digests fast and delivers essential amino acids, right as your body begins its nightly repair cycle. Next, add collagen peptides, absolutely essential for men over 60. They support blood vessel health, joints, skin, and connective tissue. Without enough collagen, strength and mobility quietly disappear. Then, mix in 3 grams of leucine, a powerful amino acid that acts like a rebuild switch. Even in aging muscles, leucine can trigger growth. How to make it? Blend the above with unsweetened almond milk, rich in healthy fats. Add a pinch of cinnamon to stabilize blood sugar. Toss in a dash of sea salt for hydration and electrolyte balance. That's it. No hype, no gimmicks. Just targeted nutrition that does its job while you sleep. George committed. Every night, about an hour before bed, he made the shake. And 3 weeks later, he came back through my door, a new man, His posture had changed. His handshake was firm. His voice carried energy. "Doc," he said, "I'm not just feeling better. I'm rebuilding." That's the power of intentional nourishment and timing. Give your body what it's been missing, fuel it, instead of starving it, and everything starts to shift. Strength returns. Sleep deepens. Confidence rises. You're not stuck in decline. You just need to give your biology a reason to fight for you again. Now, even with all these tools, eggs, yogurt, pumpkin seeds, cherry juice, almond butter, cottage, cheese, and this shake, most men still struggle. Why? Because they're missing the final piece of the puzzle. It's not just what you eat at night. It's the strategy behind it. And that's exactly what I want to show you next. Asterisk 8. Why most men miss the mark. The forgotten nighttime habit. I've met countless well-meaning men who were checking all the right boxes: clean eating, daily walks, less sugar, no caffeine, yet they still showed up in my office with the same quiet disappointment in their voice. "Doc, I'm doing my best," they'd say, "but I'm still dragging through the day. Something's missing." One of those men was Thomas, 68 years old, a retired construction worker with a grip like steel and a stare that didn't flinch. He looked at me and said, "I don't need magic. I just want to feel like me again." I asked him, "Tell me about your evenings." He hesitated, then admitted, "Some nights I don't eat dinner, or I just make a sandwich. Then it's TV and bed." And that's where it all made sense. That's the exact mistake most men don't even know they're making, because your body doesn't heal on your schedule. It follows a clock, a sacred rhythm built into your biology. Between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m., your body releases its healing crew growth hormone, testosterone pulses, blood sugar regulators, and artery softeners. But here's the kicker. They need fuel to function. And if you don't provide it, your body simply can't repair. Most men unknowingly sabotage this window. They skip protein. They nibble salty chips or sweet snacks that jack up insulin and tank hormone balance. They miss out on recovery nutrients: magnesium, zinc, leucine, healthy fats, and worst of all, they go to bed dehydrated. That puts a quiet but dangerous strain on the heart, ruins sleep quality, and limits blood flow to the very parts they want to restore. When I laid this out for Thomas, I could see the gears turning. It wasn't about working harder. It was about working smarter. I told him, skip the sandwich. Instead, try a small bowl of cottage cheese, toss on some pumpkin seeds, and sprinkle a bit of cinnamon. A 5-minute nighttime ritual. That's it. 2 weeks later, he was transformed. "Doc," he said, "I'm finally sleeping through the night. My legs feel lighter on walks, and mornings, they're no longer a fight." That's the power of honoring bedtime as the start of your body's recovery shift, not the end of your day. But you may be asking yourself, how soon will I notice the difference? Days? Weeks? Months? You might be surprised. Because when your body finally receives what it's been silently begging for, the changes, they can come faster than you ever thought possible. Now, let me show you exactly what to expect at night 7, night 14, and night 30. So you'll know, without a doubt, that you're on the right path. Asterisk 9. What to expect in 7, 14, and 30 nights. If you've been dragging through life with drained energy, restless nights, and sluggish blood flow for months or even years, it's easy to assume real change takes forever, or that it's just not in the cards anymore. But let me tell you something I've learned after working with thousands of men over 60. When you finally give your body what it's been missing, it doesn't drag its feet. It reacts fast. You don't need months. Sometimes just a few nights of targeted support sparks the shift. Take James, for example. He was 71, a retired mail carrier who used to walk 5 miles a day. But recently, even getting out of bed felt like climbing a hill. Doc, he told me, I'm worn out the moment I wake up. I feel like I'm just going through the motions. I miss being present with my wife and with myself. So I put him on the same bedtime plan I'm sharing with you. Now nutrition focused on restoring blood flow, hormone function, and overnight recovery. Simple habits: Greek yogurt with chia seeds, a spoonful of almond butter, a glass of tart cherry juice. Small, steady, doable. Nothing complicated. No gimmicks. After just 7 nights, James told me he wasn't waking up every few hours. His 2 a.m. bathroom visits? Gone. Doc, he said, I'm not just sleeping longer, I'm actually resting. By night 14, something else clicked. I wake up with energy again. I feel clear. I feel steady. And my morning firmness, it's back. That may sound like a minor thing, but trust me, for many men, it's a quiet but powerful signal that circulation is improving, hormones are rebalancing, and life is coming back. By night 30, James had fully shifted gears. His sleep was solid, his mood was lighter, and that spark, that confidence, was back. He looked me in the eye and said, Doc, I feel like I've stepped back into my own skin. And he wasn't wrong. It was in how he walked, how he carried himself, the glow in his face. That's the reward for working with your body instead of against it. The truth is, healing doesn't demand perfection, just consistency. Small actions, done at the right time, can completely rewrite the way your body heals, rests, and performs. And I've seen it repeat over and over again. You're not the exception. You're just next in line. But before we close, I want to speak to you not as a doctor, but as a man to another man. Because this last part isn't about yogurt or nutrients or blood flow. It's about belief. About the kind of man you still believe you are. And what I'm about to say might just be the most important thing you've heard in years. Asterisk, you are not broken. You're rebuildable. I don't care what your blood work says. I don't care how long it's been since you felt strong, rested, truly you. Because I've looked into the eyes of men in their 60s, 70s, even 80s, men who didn't say the words out loud, but deep down had already given up. And I've watched those same men rebuild, bit by bit, night by night. Until one morning, they woke up and said, Doc, I feel like me again. And no, it didn't start with a pill. It started with a spoon of almond butter to relax the arteries, a glass of tart cherry juice to restore deep, healing sleep, 2 soft-boiled eggs to awaken nitric oxide, pumpkin seeds to calm the prostate, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese to rebuild muscle, a simple bedtime shake to support blood flow and testosterone. These aren't just foods. They're signals to your body that say, we're not done. We're not giving up. We're rebuilding. Asterisk, this isn't about being perfect. It's about being consistent, giving your body what it needs when it needs it, not out of desperation, but out of dignity. And if you're standing there tonight, staring into your fridge, wondering if it's too late, let me tell you something it took me decades of patient care to truly believe. Your body never gives up on you unless you give up on it. Asterisk, so take one small action tonight. 1 spoon, 1 decision, 1 moment of care, because you're not too old, you're not too far gone. You're just getting started. And I'll be right here, walking this road with you, always.